do you describe the team's mentality after the performance that they put in last week and giving themselves a real good shot tactics tomorrow?
Yeah, I think that was what all we could hope for from the first leg, is to make sure you're still in the tie, you've got something to play for in the second leg, knowing what that would do as well with the support and European football back at Easter Road. And as you would expect, the players are trained really well, full of confidence, take a lot of confidence from the last game, but are also very quick to remind the players that it is only half time in the tie. It's a real difficult challenge we still face. Just because we've done so well over there doesn't mean that it becomes any easier just because we're at home. They're our top team that's playing the Champions League. I keep saying that to the players, but at the same time take the confidence of the fact that we've not played at that level consistently, but certainly produced on the night, and we're going to need to make sure we replicate that level of performance at least.
The intensity that the team started with definitely seemed to catch Midtjylland out, and the manager even said as much. Does the plan have to be to replicate that at the start, the fast start, and get them on the back foot early tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the start of the game's huge. In any game you play, and you want to try and get the upper hand and start the game as well as you can. They're off the back of Monday night. They had a real positive performance and result, so they'll be coming a bit more confidence. So we're well aware of the challenge. The players are well aware of the challenge. But these are the nights this is why you do it. This is what I spoke about, the rewards for last season. I know I keep repeating myself when I say that, but it is the opportunity to play in Europe. A sellout crowd. I believe it's because they've only got a few hundred supporters coming over. This will be the most Hib supporters at a game for 40 years or something potentially. So we want to start the game well. We need the crowd right behind us, which I'm sure they will be, which will add to the occasion and the atmosphere. And the players need to look forward to that and relish that.
On the crowd, how, I guess, big a reward is that to the players and the way that they've played, that they're going to come out in such numbers, and how much can you use that and the noise that they're going to generate? Yeah, you need to use that. I think it's a reflection on how well the group's done last season. When you look at the journey the whole club went on, and even at every level, the academy doing so well, the women's team doing so well, the feel-good factor around the football club at the minute, and the fans play a massive role in that every single week. I say it all the time. Win, lose or draw, they're the ones that go through it. They're the ones that have to pay their money to support the club. And this is their reward. The trip they had over to Denmark, everyone says it was a real positive one. The stories, the videos, you've heard about it, which is great. And then, a sellout at Easter Road. What more can you ask for as a player to go and play in these situations? And it's why you should want to come and play for this club when you do. The genuine opportunity to play in Europe, and these are the nights that don't come around very often in your career potentially. So you need to make the most of them and make sure they don't pass you by. Midtjylland were well aware that they were favourites in this tie, and I think they got a bit of flack for not winning that first leg. Does that make them a little more dangerous? Do you think that they might feel like they've got a bit of a point to prove?
No, I think as far as I'm concerned, the challenge doesn't get any easier from our point of view. They'll still be favourites because of who they are. Clearly, we know that. As I've said, it doesn't become any easier, but the players need to take confidence in themselves. Now, we need to be at our absolute best. We know that. We know we still need to improve from the first leg. So I even touched on they'll look to improve, so we definitely need to do that. There is areas in which we can improve, which is positive, but we also need to replicate the defensive display we had. You need to, going to need every single player as well, because it's early on in the competitive stuff as well. So it's if there's ever an occasion to look forward to, it's certainly this one as a player. The fans will be right behind us, like you touched on there, but it is a tough task. We still know that.
How pleased are you with how quickly Jamie McGrath and Josh Mulligan have kind of come into the team and kind of ride the momentum from last season?
It's been great. I think we speak a lot about when we bring players to the club, the type of people we want to bring and the characters that we're doing. Clearly they were playing in our league last year, so you can get a sense of what they're like pretty quickly. Football's quite a small world, especially up here. You can get to know what people are like and ask about people for character references, and clearly two quality good players that can add straight away to what we're looking to do. And then I also think it's a reflection on the group. The players that have been here, the core of the players that welcome new players, make them feel welcome, make them settle quickly, is a big thing that I mention all the time about the collective, the culture that's been created, but also just the real togetherness in there. And I think that's a true reflection on the players that are here.
How's Thibaut settled in, and how quickly can you see him breaking in and making an impact in the start?
Yeah, that's the challenge he's got. The challenge is to try and get into the team as early as he can. Clearly he's just joined us fairly recently. There's not too much expectation for me in terms of demanding to try and get him minutes straight away and everything else. I think these things can take time at times. I think we've got a real good squad with strength and depth, and I think he definitely adds to that, which is really good. And as I've just said there, he is still early in his sort of Hibs career. He's settling in more every single day, a bit more confident around the players, which you'd expect. And a few of the, Rocky's helping with that as well, with Rocky and Ellie, with French speaking and everything. So I think all in all, he's in a good place. We just need to make sure we keep improving him and keep giving him opportunities.
We can't get through a presser without asking you about Nectar. There was a report this morning that he won't be coming back, that Sunderland decided that moving back to Scotland isn't something that they want. What is your impression of the situation with him?
Listen, I think if that's how the lie of the land is, I think I've been very consistent with saying, I was quite clear with Nectar done so well for us last season. We know that. We've also been very clear that it's not just Nectar Triantis. We can't put everything into one position or one player. We know that, so the hard work has been going on. And whilst it was still a potential opportunity, you'd always look to try and explore it because of how well he done. But it was always going to be that, with it being, his second loan spell here, how well he done, his parent club getting promoted, and what his situation was going to be. So I think that was always going to be the case naturally. So we are constantly looking to see what can be done to try and improve the squad. But clearly my full focus right this minute in time is tomorrow night in the game.
Is that position a priority though in terms of strengthening in the midfield? And does the qualities that Nectar brought here over the last couple of years give you the sort of the archetype of the player that you're looking for?
Yeah, I think what Nectar was a strong defensive-minded player that can play in the middle of the pitch. We've got a lot of quality in there currently in the building, which is great. We've added to that as well with Jamie and Josh that can play centrally. Still got Joe Newell to come back. He's someone that's been out for a significant period. That's getting stronger and fitter every day, which is a real positive if we can get him back to the level, because he's certainly been someone that has been a massive influence every single day, maybe not on the pitch but around the building. So if we can get that back up and firing, which is great. And then, as you just touched on there, depending on Europe and how that looks and the demands it required, you need a strength that's got strength and depth and quality to do that. And I think we're certainly developing a really good squad at the minute.